I met Dexter 20 years ago, and at the time I was single, had been divorced for a while, and my frame of mind was that, I had to pray about the situation because I have always felt that uh, uh, getting involved in a relationship is not something that I need to really go out pressure and pursue. I've always believed in my divine father to find that special man in my life. And after a few, after my a failed marriage and being single for a while, I had I had to stop and really look at me. What is it about me that I actually need to change? What's not right with me? Because I didn't want my future to be like my past. And I knew if it was something that I had to correct in me, Lord, fix me. And that's what it was really all about. So I took some time out to look at self. What is it I could change about me? I did a scale balance. What are my positive features and things of attitude and all of that about me? What is negative about me? And I took a hard look at self, and it took me a while. At the time, I had just gotten out of a relationship, and I just said one day, you know what? I'm not doing this anymore. I'm not looking for anyone. I'm not doing this anymore. The next man that comes into my life is someone that God has placed in my life. And that is what has happened to me. So when I met Dexter, I was not, I hate to say it, a couch potato. I would go to work, I'd come home. I had my own little apartment, so I was happy with me. I'd go to work, I'd come home, and I'd go out to some events, but I really wasn't into going out a lot. And so what happened was one of my clients had a birthday, and my girlfriends kept saying, well, this was down probably about an hour away from me, and I didn't really want to cut out what I was doing. Even though I wanted to celebrate her birthday, but I didn't feel like the drive. I had a long day, had been up north working, and by the time I got home, I was just comfortable being at home. But my girlfriends wouldn't let that rest. They kept saying, we're out here, we're having a good time at her birthday party. We're really looking forward to seeing you. By the way, this is your client. How can you let us celebrate a birthday without you being here? And I finally gave in to them. Okay, give me a minute. Let me figure this out, and I'll come down and meet with you guys. And in my mind, I'm like, okay, I'm not going to be there long. I want to go down, say hello to her, wish her happy birthday, give her a card, and then I will party for a minute or two, and I'm out. Okay. Well, when I went down to the party, it was at a club.
It was a restaurant, not a club.
Well, restaurant club.
Yeah, okay. Club.
Restaurant / club, okay?
Y'all made it into a club, but it was a restaurant.
It was,
yes.
Whatever. Okay. But I went down, to make a long story short, I was a hot mess at home, and I was looking at myself like, what am I going to have to wash my hair? I went to the closet, and I want to let you know that this was during the month of September. And so I had bought a nice little outfit. At that time I was like a size 5'7", so I could get into anything. And I went to my closet, and I'm like, what am I going to wear? And knowing that Halloween was coming up the next month, I had this little black and orange outfit I had never worn. I think the skirt was about that big.
Uh-oh.
Watch it. Took my shower, washed my hair, blew it dry. I had to do all that before I left home. Okay? Got the outfit out. It was fitting perfect. Had high heels on. I used to wear heels that high. And I was ready to go. I was ready to stroll.
Let me stop you right here. So if she wasn't dressed like that, would that have made a difference in whether or not you talked to her or not?
Well, the funny story, and I was there on business in California, because I was working with the Air Force at the time. And funny thing about it, I was in Oxnard, which is about, if y'all know familiar, it's about 2 hours away from Los Angeles.
Oh, so that's where you were living?
No, I was here on business, working with the military.
Oh, okay.
And so after our meetings for the day, I said, man, I'm going to LA just to hang out, just to get something to eat. And it's like a little jazz lounge place, so just relax and unwind. So anyway, long story short, so I'm there. I had a early meeting the next morning I had to be at. like at 7 o'clock in the morning. So I drove 2 hours to downtown LA, and it was about 11 o'clock, and I was about to leave. So we was kind of passing. So what happened was, no. So the answer to your question is, her dress and her appearance, of course, caught my eye, absolutely, without a doubt. But I was actually going to talk to her girlfriend, because her girlfriend I had an eye on, and I was going to approach her girlfriend. And so as I was getting up to go approach her girlfriend, she walked by me, passed by me. Oprah did.
Okay.
Oprah walked past by me.
Wait a minute, the girlfriend, the birthday party that you were going to?
No, it was her other friend. They had like
I
a group
had about 4 girlfriends there.
Yeah.
We all got together, for birthdays and things like that.
Okay, so it's another girlfriend.
So the other girl had attracted my, because she was dressed, kind of, dressed up a little bit. And so she attracted my eye, and I said, okay, so I was going to talk to her girlfriend. But Oprah she really caught my eye because it was more classy. It wasn't like
slutty.
Yeah. Okay. There it is. It wasn't that. It was more classy, and so all my attention focused on her. So that's what happened.
So then, what happened? So your original response was like, "Wow, she's hot." I'd like to take her out. It wasn't like you were trying to. It wasn't like you were like, "I'm gonna marry her."
No,
so it was at that time. It was just, and that same thing for you.
Yeah, we weren't really interested in each other. No. I mean, when I came in, he said he was sitting
by the door on my way out.
You had to come in and go to the
back.
Patio. That's where the party was, on the patio. And when I came in, I just kind of strolled to the back. I might have seen him sitting there, but I was trying to get to the back.
Right.
And he tells me that I smiled at him. And I
said,
well, I probably did. But I went to the back and, getting together with my girlfriends and, we're talking and, we had a drink. And so then he comes over and asks me to dance.
Okay, let me stop you there. This is one of the things I hear from men. So you said she smiled at you. If she didn't smile at you, would you have had the courage to ask her to dance?
Probably so.
You still would have? Because what I hear from a lot of guys is that you have to give me something to let me know that you're interested. Yes. Even though you weren't, you weren't like trying to.
That gave me more courage.
Okay.
It did.
So that's
Absolutely
something for
did.
ladies, the single ladies that's on here, is that we're hearing that we have to
be friendly, be open. When you like this, and you're all into yourself, that's not, guys, is like, that's not attractive. It's like, but when you.
But sometimes people this is why I love this conversation, because as Christian women, we've been fed that God is gonna send me my husband and he gonna, and it's just gonna happen because, seriously, because Jesus is gonna send him to me.
Well, we do think a little bit like that, but I'm gonna tell you what happened to me. Mm-hmm. I had gone through a divorce. Mm-hmm. And I kept saying that, and I love being married, okay? Mm-hmm. But I had gone through an unfortunate divorce. Mm-hmm. And after the divorce, I'm like, I'm going to get married again. Okay. And I kept saying, I'm going to get married again. And I said, okay, in 5 years, I'm going to be married again.
Put a time frame.
I put a time frame on it. Okay.
Were you married? Was it within 5 years?
No. Okay. God stopped me. Oh, and he said that it's not going to happen that way.
On your timetable.
It's not going to be on your timetable because 5 years passed. And I'm looking, okay, God. Okay. Okay. And he said, you'll get married when I think it's time for you to be married.
And the thing about it though, Zondra, neither one of us was looking, because I was transitioning from a relationship, a marriage. Right. Mm-hmm. She was out of a marriage. Neither one of us was looking for a relationship.
Okay.
By far, we were looking for relationships at all. Mm-hmm. We were just, it happened, because God just had us in the right place at the right time, and that's when we connected. So we wasn't looking for relationships at all.
So how soon after you met that you that you thought, well, man, I could marry her, and vice versa?
Well, it was a while, but in my mind, I had been on the dating scene. Mm-hmm. And that's when I realized, I'm tired of this. I don't want to go through this.
So you were dating multiple people
besides him. I had dated for a while, and then I just cut it off. Okay. I think it was around January, and I said, you know what? I had to focus on me getting self together. Mm-hmm. And I didn't want to date anymore. I just put it on hold.
Gotcha.
Because I had, gone through that period where I thought I was going to be married, and I got tired of, dating, different guys. And some of them wanted to be married, but in my mind, I wasn't ready for that. It wasn't real. To me, it didn't come natural. And so at that point, I really felt like God was preparing me for him. Okay. Because I put everything on hold, and and I had girlfriends, we'd go out together, and they'd be like, they'd always leave me. You need to loosen up. You need to do this, and my mind wasn't there. They would be the ones that would meet guys. Guys would meet me, but it never really amounted to anything. It never went anywhere.
Gotcha.
And so I felt like I had a lot to work on self, because when I did meet that special person, I wanted it to be right.
Right.
How
did you know that you needed to work on? Because a lot of people don't take that time to work on self. And I know you can probably speak to this as well. Like, you went through it, both of you have been married before, it didn't work. So you knew that there was something wrong. So how important is it for people to work on themselves?
Very important.
Yes. Yeah.
Because like I said, when you transition out of a relationship, you don't want to carry that old baggage into the new relationship. And that's what's important to identify with, yourself, your spirituality, your foundation. What is it that, that you can find peace within yourself first? Because if you don't find peace within yourself, you're not going to get peace out of nobody else. You see what I'm saying? So you have to be able to find that peace, your identity, and that foundation within yourself first. And then the relationship complements that.
Gotcha.
And it's about the heart and how you because a lot of women will put in their mind, I'm looking for this guy with,
that's another thing,
basketball player,
six pack,
six pack.
Yeah, keep going, because she always. I'm all of that. Not got no six pack, but I was like a 4-pack.
He was great, okay, but I'm just saying, women already have their mind set up what they're looking for,
right? And
they're fixated on that, and you can't do that, because my preparing me for him, the man in my life, I wanted to look at your heart. I wanted to look at your, the inside of you. Because I know on the inside of you, if that's great, it's only going to go to the outside.
Because if you look at our situation on the outside, we have a lot of things. We're both business owners. I was, like I said, an engineer at the time with the Air Force, and she was in her profession. And so we had some things in common, because I still had my own business going on outside, and she was an entrepreneur as well. But we have an age difference. And I'm not going to tell exactly what the age difference is. Well, we have an age difference. And when you look at it from the outside, it's like, how y'all hook up and how y'all stand together. Like, what is going on with that? But because all that don't matter. Right. When you start getting in the inside, the outside, of course, you're men. Ladies, men are physically attracted to.
That's right.
So that's the first thing. So it's not like you can't just go out without combing your hair, putting on a little makeup, not a lot, but a little bit of makeup, because too much is too much.
Okay.
Just a little bit.
Okay.
And most men, and I'm speaking for myself and some of the friends that I know, like women with class, like with character, with self-confidence about themselves.
Right.
Not somebody that's just
give an example of a woman that doesn't have self-confidence, because sometimes we don't understand what that means.
A woman without self-confidence.
What is it, something that person would do, or how she would carry
herself? Okay, well, mainly, just following the crowd. Always, wherever A goes, you follow them like a herd. You just follow the leader type of thing, instead of sticking out and having some morals and some principles about what you want to do. Just like with Oprah, she said, like, her friends, they party hard and they go out and meet a guy and go out with the guy and stay with the guy all night or whatever. And she had some principles about herself, and like, I'm not going to do it. Even if peer pressure was, hey, we going to Vegas and hang out, whatever. She was like, no, I'm not doing that. So not following, even though they may be your friends, but not, following her, having your own self confidence and your own principles about yourself. I think that's more important. And those characteristics, people are always watching. People are always, when you think, ladies and gentlemen, if you're out there, if you think people are not watching, like when you go to the grocery store, if you go to the cleaners, if you
Lord, I had to comb my hair when I go to the grocery store.
Yes. People are always looking and always, and I'm not saying to go out where your finance, of course, but just look a hot, right? You know, you have to.
So that could work. So let's just make sure we clear this up. I want to make sure. So because some of my ladies believe that no matter what I look like, if that's the God gonna send me the husband, no matter. So okay, I just want, and you agree with that?
First impression of a man is the physical. I mean, I'm just
being out. Yeah.
Y'all gonna be can I be 100% real?
Yeah, be 100%
real.
You.
The first thing a man looks at is the physical, the appearance of the female, because God trained us that way. We're physically attracted to women.
Okay.
And we're going to look at that, you know? And then after that goes away, because you have to have some substance. Because if you don't have any substance, there's some pretty women out there with no substance. That means like no foundations, no.
What's the percentage, would you say? Is it a high percentage? Like, would you say of pretty women that you've come across that doesn't have any substance?
No, I'm just thinking. See, you got me thinking way back, because Zondra, you ain't getting me in trouble tonight, because I don't even be looking that hard no more. So, really... Zondra, 20 years ago, Zondra, with the women that I read across, okay, 20 years ago, because I don't even get out like that no more. But anyway, 20 years ago, no, it wasn't a high percentage.
Okay.
So it was, you know, but like I said, the outer layer is what it is. It's the outer layer. Okay. That gets old, and that gets play up, because guess what? There's always going to be somebody else with somebody younger, prettier, look different. Right. So it has to be more substance behind it. Just the physical appearance.
Confidence. That's the same thing with you as well.
Well, yes. I mean, that could go two ways. I mean, you know, you have to have. There are a lot of pretty faces out there. There are a lot of beautiful women out there, just like men. But I'm the same way. You know, if I'm talking to you and I spent some time with you and you open your mouth, or you start saying things that, you know, that don't register to me, or, you know, I may not accept that well. And that's kind of what happened in some of my past relationships. You know, you meet some great people, but you have to look at what you have in common.
Okay.
How are you going to treat me as a person? And I'll tell you what intrigued me about him when I met him. Very patient. You know, I'm very patient. He's trying to get a point across, but very patient.
Okay.
And I'm the kind of woman, I'm going to see how patient you are, because I can take you through that patience. Okay. And this is, I've always been this way. Right. It's nothing new. I can tell you my first boyfriend in high school. Wow. You know, you either have patience with me or you're not. Okay. And I remember praying to God, because I had a boyfriend in the 10th grade, and I felt like he was so much further ahead than I was. You know, even though I liked him, every girl on campus liked him, but I used to have to deal with him. And I remember one day, and I tell people this story, I remember praying to God, give me the right words to say to him. I'm not at the level he's at, but I want to let him know I care about you, I like you, but I may not be that woman for you. So give me how can I, just like a Dear John letter, how can I break it to him and let him know that I want you to go and meet other women. I want you to go and maybe date other women, because I'm not where you I'm not where you want me to be. Okay. And he gave me the words to say, and I told him that. And I always felt like I should be honest, because when I did tell him that, he didn't like it at the time, but I can tell you the amount of respect. Okay. And it was appreciating me being honest. Because I'm glad that I was honest with him. Okay. He did go on about his business. He ended up dating a much older girl. And just things went from there. But I've always wanted, you know, I look for that in a guy. You know, honesty is very important to me. Your heart is very important to me. It's how you treat me. How are you going to treat me as a woman, as a lady? Because I'm gonna be a lady around you. And I want to know how you're going to treat me as a lady. Right. What kind of respect you have for me. And we went through that, you know. And I'll tell you the key thing. We had probably dated for a few months. And I did stand him up the first date.
Yes.
First date. Okay.
Shut up.
Because I was
intentional.
Yes and no. I was really busy because I had a lot of clients, and I would travel sometimes an hour out to see my clients. And I had gotten back really late, and I ended up, I didn't even get to call him.
That was back in the days when we had pagers.
We had pagers.
I mean, we had a cell phone, but the cell phones wasn't that popular then. So I was waiting on her. I had paged her, and she didn't page. And she didn't
let's take it back to the restaurant. When I met him, I had a pager, and I did have a cell phone, but I gave him my pager.
Right.
Okay.
Yeah, she wouldn't even give me the cell phone number.
But what happened was, when we met up at the club, we danced a few times. He came and asked me to dance. No, he asked me to dance, and I said no. I said, why don't you go dance with my girlfriend over there? It's her birthday.
Kept pushing me off on the
Shut up.
Wait a minute. So then when he left, and a couple of records played, so I ended up dancing with somebody else. And so I could see him on the floor, and he was like looking over there at me like, she told me that she didn't want to dance. Were you with him over there? And so finally, and it was hot in there. The guy was blowing, I was sweating a little bit. And so finally, when he did come back and ask me, that's okay, I'm going to dance with you.
We danced one time. And then she said, I'm about to go. I said, well, I'm about to go too. Because, I had to get up the next morning. And then I just asked her, can I walk her out to her car? And that's when we started talking. That's when we had a conversation when I walked her to her car.
And I was saying, I walked in by myself. I could be okay. I'll walk out by myself. And, he said, well, it's dark out there and it's pretty late. I said, oh, okay.
But I was sincere about that too, because I was leaving.
Oh yeah, I know that's you do.
And then I was like, just like I tell you,
right,
Zondra, I'm like saying, hey, make sure you get home okay.
Right.
There wasn't nothing to it. It was just that, I'm like, well, let me walk you to your car. And I guess
you were raised properly.
He was very courteous, very gentleman, and that means so much to me.
One thing,
okay?
Right?
Because I don't like men pulling on me. I don't,
and men, and we don't like women, ladies. We don't like y'all. We like y'all being independent, but let us do our part. One thing about Oprah is when she go up to the car or to the door, she'll stand there and wait for me to come and open for it.
Right.
Instead of just grabbing the door and stuff. I'm like, okay. We know that you're independent. Yes, you can do it yourself. There's nothing wrong. We ain't trying to say that you're weak or nothing.
Right.
But let us show you a little chivalry. That's what that's what decent guys like to do. You know what I'm saying? So, that's one of the things. I asked her if I could hold her hand. I didn't just grab her hand. I said, it's okay if I hold your hand.
We had another scheduled dinner date, okay?
After the first stand-up.
After the first stand-up. And, he tells me about it now. He said he was just waiting for me.
Lifting weights.
Went and lift weights. Okay, wait.
This was 20 years ago, Zondra. Don't be laughing now.
Lifting weights, put on his best suit.
I didn't have a suit on. I have a sweater and a slacks on.
You say you were dressed, for the date.
Okay.
And somebody was telling him, if she's not going to show up, she's not going to show up.
No, I was just in the hotel room because, again, I was on business.
Right.
I was on a business trip. I'm in my hotel room. I done paged her like 3 times, and she ain't paging me. I'm like, oh, man.
Here we go again.
I'm lifting. No, it's all good because, it's like whatever, maybe she'll just talk. You meet people like, yeah, well, she ain't going to hook up. She was just talking. Maybe I really ain't her type or whatever. I don't know. All these thoughts go in your head. So I said, whatever. So then she finally called me about 3 hours later, said, oh, I was in the meeting, and are you going to still be in town? I said, because I was supposed to fly out the next morning.
Right.
I said, well, you know what? I'll change my flight. And this is a true story. I said, I would change my flight if you promise to keep the date. If you're going to promise to meet me. And so she said, yeah, I promise. I'll come to you this time. I said, you mean, because I'm in Oxnard, 2 hours away from LA. Right. She's in Hollywood. Oh, wow. So I'm about 2 hours away from her. And we was going to meet halfway.
Yeah.
So I said, well, I'm flying out of LAX. So she said, I'll come to LAX over there. So I said, fine. So that's when we got our first date.
And I felt confident in being in my own car. Okay.
So you can get up and leave whenever you want to.
When I get ready. That's right.
So what was different? So what was different about the both of you from the first marriage to the second marriage? So let's start with you. So you got married the first time.
Experience.
So should you have not gotten married the first time, or?
No, it's not that. The first marriage was, I blew it, and I admit to it. I blew it. I was not ready to be married. I was young, in my early 20s. We had a child, my son, and no fault of my ex-wife at all. We went to school together. We met in college, and she was cool. It's just that me wasn't mature at the time. And my parents said, "Why are you getting married? Why are you getting married? You know, you're not mature enough yet."
So why did you get married?
Because I thought I had just got saved. Okay, you know, I just had got saved, and I thought it was the Christian thing to do because she got pregnant.
Okay.
And I thought it was the Christian thing to do to marry her. And, you know, we had some things in common, but, you know, and I thought it was going to be okay.
You loved her?
No.
Did you know it at the time?
I liked her a whole lot.
But did you know you didn't love her when you married her?
Of course not. I didn't know what love was.
Gotcha.
No, I didn't know. I thought I loved her. No. See, that's a great question, Zondra. I thought I loved her. I liked her a whole lot. We were buddies. We hung out together. We were cool. She's good people. Like I said, she's cool. She's nice looking lady and everything. She cool. But I thought I loved her.
Okay.
But I liked her. But looking back now, when I met Oprah, then I realized what love was.
Okay. And
that was a big difference. And I said, oh my God. Because I was like, this is, you know, because you felt different, you think different. You just, your mind is just different. When you fall in love, when you're in love with somebody, it's different.
So Oprah was your first in love?
Yes.
Wow.
I told her.
Shut up.
I have had plenty of girlfriends, and the longest I had a girlfriend was maybe 2-3 years. I was married for maybe a good 3 to 4 years, I think it was. About 4 years. Okay. And then that was the longest relationship I ever had. We've been together 20 years.
So what's the difference? What was it about Oprah that just made you fall in love with her?
We just had a lot in common. I mean, from little detail stuff from sport teams, you know, from basketball. She was a Lakers fan. Football. Go figure this one out. I'm a diehard Pittsburgh Steelers fan from LA, a diehard Pittsburgh Steelers fan. And she's a Pittsburgh Steelers fan. Go figure that one out. And she liked sports.
Right.
It's a little detail. She cooked. She had, I mean, just everything. All the little characteristics. She was beautiful. She still is beautiful. Beautiful woman on the outside. But you know what? On the inside, beautiful as well. Meaning that she's caring and giving. And like I said, when people, you think that they're not looking at you, people are always looking. And those are the characteristics. I saw how she treated her siblings, her sisters, her brothers.
So you watched all of that?
I watched all her characteristics, how she treated her clients at the time, how she take the time. That's why she was late or stood me up on her date, because she was taking care of her client. And she was like, I'm not going to rush out of this because my client needs me, because I, in an intimate situation with my client, you know, giving all her personal information, and she was really counseling her client. And she took that time up and made that a priority. So all those little characteristics, it just added up. Okay. And then we were like-minded. We were like-minded from an entrepreneur standpoint. We were evenly yoked from a spiritual standpoint. I mean, we started going to church when we were dating. It's like, you know, every time I flew in, because I started flying in more to California. And then she say, wait, let's go to church. And then we started going to church together and everything, and it was cool.
And you, how did you know that what was different about you the second time?
Well, the first time, you know, I wasn't I was in love, but it changed really fast, you know, because I had, you know, I had 2 small kids at the time, and, but I felt like I was still going to be the devoted wife, you know. At the time I got married, I was in love. I was a devoted wife, you know. This is how my life flowed. God came first in my life. My husband came second. My kids came third. My house came fourth, and then came me. Okay. And a lot of things took place. You know, my husband became unfaithful. And here I am. You know, I was really young. And I'm trying to do the best I can as a wife, take care of my home. I still worked a full-time job. And I had 2 kids, you know, to care after as well. But I was the kind of woman that I'd make sure breakfast was on the table in the morning. When you came in, you had dinner. Your lunch was ready to go to work. I would bathe the kids. When I come in from work, I would bathe the kids, you know, give them dinner, bathe them, put them to bed. And clean my house after all of that, pick up and get ready for the next day. So I did this over and over and over. And things started to happen. And I think for my husband to tell me at that time that the reason he did whatever he did was because I didn't take care of myself. And that wasn't true. I thought that was,
Yeah.
And here I am, they've been through the pregnancies and the whole bit. And I'm not the kind of person, I wasn't selfish. Even though I realized after all of that was over with, I realized, my girlfriend told me, she said, part of the problem with your relationship was that you made more money than he did. And I'm like, really? I'm not even thinking in that, I would go to work, I'd have to pay, I was very naive to some degree because my name wasn't even on the checking account. Okay. And so when he said I didn't take care of myself, I'm like, wow, that means I didn't go out shopping enough. I didn't, at that time, I would do my own hair.
Right.
I didn't wear nails and stuff like that, because I've always grown my nail.
Right.
But after that, I took a closer look at that. I have to fit me in there someplace.
Right.
And I made up my mind that, I went through that, but I think after the 9th or 10th year, things started to change. And they changed for me because I started looking after myself, taking care of me better. That means when I got ready to go to the grocery store, I looked like I was getting ready to go out somewhere. Okay. And I made sure that every day I walked out that door, I was taken care of. I kept my hair together no matter what. But it didn't change anything because we feel to have time. My thing was that we have to spend time with each other. I had to spend time with my kids. We worked all week. The weekend is for a family. That's how I felt. And they would, and I would even get into the sports. And that's why I love the Steelers today. I would get into the sport part of it because if you can't beat them, you join them. And I thought I was doing, making things better. But it got to the point I found myself begging, can we spend time with the kids this weekend? Can we, and it would get to the point that we couldn't go anywhere unless his mom. He had a lot of family to interfere with our relationship. Okay. And we couldn't go anywhere unless, mom wants to go to the mountains this weekend and mom wants to go up north, then we'll go. And so finally, I just got to the point, I'll never forget it. Our anniversary was like January 3rd. And I'm thinking, okay, our anniversary is coming up. Maybe I can turn things around. And I remember begging him to go to dinner with me. I had bought him a new suit for the holiday, and I begged. And I was by the time we got out, it's like, why do we have to go to dinner? I don't want to, didn't want to do anything with the kids. It was like, I want to hang out with my brother, look at the football game, blah, blah, blah. And I just said, it's not working. And I got to the point, we went to dinner that night, and I realized that I was tired. By the time I got to dinner, I couldn't enjoy dinner because it's what I had to go through to get there. To dinner. Okay. And I said, I won't do that again. And so finally, our marriage ended. And that's why I said, I enjoyed being married. I enjoyed being a wife and a mother to my kids and, home. And I was telling myself, okay, in 5 years, I'm going to be married again. And that's when it all kicked in. God said, no, it's not going to happen that way, especially after 5 years passed. And I wasn't married, and I'm just like, oh, okay, then I'm just going to have to wait on the Lord. I have to wait and when the timing is right.
How long was it? Right. How many years was it?
Oh, God, don't even ask. Oh, it was a while. I would say probably, 10 years went by before I could get married again.
Yeah. Okay.
But
no, was it?
Was it that long?
We got married yeah, it's about 10 years.
Wow.
It's about 10 years.
Excuse me, we dated a while.
Before you actually got
married. We dated for about 3 years.
Yeah, we dated about 3 years.
3 or 4 years we dated.
So within the 3 years, when did you know?
What?
That he was the one and she was that? How did you know that this is the one? How long into the dating? Because some people date and they're married within a month or 2 months, and you guys know that. So
I think we were both very cautious because again we were both transitioned. We both had other relationships, so we were very cautious. As Lord, do we really want to
go through this
again? Even though we cared about each other. And then we decided, I said, it was me proposing to Oprah because I said, out of respect, I mean, I can't just keep stringing her along. That's not fair for her.
Let's back up a minute. You're right. He's right. But we had gone through some things as well. And I know for me, we started hanging out. We go to church and together. We had so much in common. We'd be thinking the same thing, And I remember one day it just flowed out of my mouth that I love you. And I'm like, where did that come from?
This was when we were dating. Yep.
We were dating.
Okay. How long into the dating would you say when you said that?
Oh, God, maybe.
Probably maybe a year, a little over
About
a
a
year.
year.
So she told you she loved you before you told her?
No, almost the same time, because I asked her, I didn't say I loved her, but we was dating and we was going out on a date, and she was in the car. Guys are always looking at every little detail, little thing, especially when they really like you. They start looking at the detail, little stuff. So I'm looking at how she put on her makeup, right? We drive in the car, so she put her makeup on and everything. I'm looking like she's real meticulous on putting on her makeup. I'm like, oh, that's pretty cool. And so then I asked her, I said, so what is it that you want from me? Because I'm trying to think about this commitment. Like, what am I about to get into? I said, and I asked her, I said, so what is it that you want from me? And then she turned around with her little lipstick in her hand, what's that, eyebrow pencil there? She turned around, looked at me and said, everything. And I said, huh? She said, everything.
Well, let me tell you why. Because in his mind, I know that, he tells me today that he just wanted a friend.
A friend. I wasn't trying to get commitment.
But I'm not trying to be your friend.
Right,
okay?
Right.
I won't be that kind of friend that you think you can hang it with and all of that.
I'm
not going to be your homie lover friend. That ain't happening.
Right.
And I think he realized that wasn't going to go that
Because I thought we had a agreement, because she's a little older. I ain't going to say the age difference. So I'm like, okay, cool. So this could work out real good.
Right.
She got her own money. She got her own car. She got her own place. She don't want no more kids. I don't want no more kids. I have my kids. And she had her kids.
Oh, wow,
so I said,
so
cool.
funny.
So we could just be hanging out. I could be like her little side piece. And, we could go out every now and then, go out to dinner and hang out or whatever. And it was going to be a great relationship. And that's why when it started getting more serious, more serious that's when
funny.
I looked around when she was putting on the makeup in the car. I said, so
what made you ask her?
Because I wanted to see where we're on the same page. I'm like trying to say, like, are we just going to be kicking it, just hang out, every now and then when I come to town? Or are you looking for more of a commitment? So that's why I asked, so what is it that you want from me? And then she turned around and said, everything. And I said,
because it wasn't going to be no part of this relationship.
I thought it could have went either way. She said, we can just kick it, be friends, and then when you come in town, we can hang out, whatever. And I said, okay, cool. Then I would have said, that's all you want? Because, I started really liking her. Right. But in a way, I wanted her to say that. Like, we could just kind of hang out and kick it. But she said everything. And I said, this is getting real serious here. And then about a few months later, we sitting in the kitchen, she cooking or whatever. She just looked, just came out of her mouth, just natural as day, just like, hello. She said, I love you. And I said, okay,
because he used to bring me flowers.
Every day.
Every day. Oh, and I remember one day he came to visit me.
Every day I brought a flower.
And I had a natural this big.
Okay.
I had long hair then, okay. Big natural. I hadn't bothered putting no makeup or anything on, And
I had just flew in town.
Yeah. And so I think there was a
and we was always going out to eat. And I was so tired of going out to eat. I was like,
but he was down, I was like, I'm one that like to try different restaurants and stuff like that. And so we would go hang out on Ventura Boulevard. Or
all over Hollywood. All these fancy places, right?
Mm-hmm.
And I'm like, really?
Who was paying?
I was paying.
And he didn't eat duck, okay?
No, I didn't even know what that was. She started hooking me up all these exotic dishes. And I'm like, what is that, man? Can we go get some
But then I would also cook,
No, that's what happened that day with the afro. Because she knew I got tired of going out. So she said, you know what? Let's not go out. Just come over and I'm going to have something ready for you. I said, cool. I get to the door. She had some greens, some macaroni and cheese, some cornbread made on the skillet. And I said,
hot water cornbread.
I said, you cook all this? You know how to cook like that? She said, oh, yeah, that ain't nothing.
And then I remember once he was at his hotel room, and I put together a whole dinner for him. Okay.
Because I got to the point where I didn't go out to eat. I just, order food in and stay in my room because, he was on the road all the time. And so she just brought me dinner one time. I was like, so all those stuff started just
adding up.
And then we talked about the bridge. You know, the bridge is important to me. Okay, and that's what I'm saying. He was, you know. Okay. I'm just saying, you know, you don't cross that bridge until you're ready. Right. You know what I'm saying? And that's how I've always been. Just like I said in high school.
And my thing was, I didn't want to disrespect her because she was telling me the stuff she had, the challenges, and I got cared about it.
Should we tell you men that?
What?
How much should we reveal to you when we're dating? That's a good segue.
Yeah,
should we tell you
open and honest
about everything?
Mostly everything. I mean, if you think that you have some kind of hope for this relationship, if there's something that you think that maybe it may go somewhere. I mean, I ain't saying it just on the first date or second date, just start blabbing everything.
No,
too much.
No.
I
think it's how comfortable you feel with one another.
You start a little bit at a time until you feel like it's comfortable. When you seem like it's gelling, then you start, especially you see like it's going somewhere. Like when I ask her, what do you want from me?
Right.
You have to start opening up then. Because like, let me tell you about this and let me tell you about that and things of that nature.
Okay.
Right. And honestly,
because it's out of mutual respect. Because again, like I said, I want to respect her and find out like, okay, well, if you're looking for a serious relationship, let me know because I might not be looking for a serious relationship, and I don't want to keep wasting your time and leading you on thinking that this is going somewhere.
Right.
So that's why I said, do you? Because when I say, what do you want type of situation, I mean, do you think I'm going to be just committed to you or am I going to be dating other people? Because like, you got other girlfriends, even though I wasn't seeing them that much no more because I was spending all my time with her. And I'm like, and then she just broke down.
So I have another question for you, for both of you. So when you're meeting someone, this is a lot of the ladies have these questions too. So you're meeting someone, let's say in the church. Do you think it's cool to date multiple people in the church at the same time? In the church at the same time?
I don't.
I don't either, but I just wanted to see your.
I don't.
If you weren't dating Oprah, do you think it's okay you're in your church to be dating Oprah and then Sheila and then Marsha? Okay.
It's disrespectful.
Okay.
I think it's disrespectful. I mean, the older you get, when you're young, you experiment things, but when you get a little bit older and a little bit more, I say more mature. Mature. I think it's disrespectful.
Okay.
If you care about the person, if you just got some alternative motive, then you don't care. But if you have some decency about the person from a guy's perspective, no, you have to respect that because it's embarrassing. It's disrespectful for her.
Right.
You know, you're dating somebody else and then that's disrespectful.
I agree. I just wanted to bring that. Go ahead.
Yeah, and I think not even outside of the church is disrespectful. Okay. So I really feel like as a person, because that's a pet peeve of mine. I can even tell you that. Okay. I think that if you feel honesty is the key.
Right.
You can go a long way if you're honest.
Right.
If you're the kind of person that don't feel like I don't want to be in a single out monogamy relationship, right. You need to be upfront and honest and say that.
And let me just take this. I don't know how much time we got, but I want to get this in.
So good.
I want to get this in because we broke up during that 20-year period. We broke up.
Whose fault was it?
I ain't gonna say about that because we just broke up because I was like, look here. This before we got married now.
Okay.
Yeah, that was before we got married. Right before we got married, we was dating like I said about 3 years.
Okay.
And then we broke up. I said, you know what? I ain't trying to be committed right now. And
were you scared?
No. Okay. I was just wanting to play the field. I still wasn't mature yet. I still want to date other women.
Gotcha.
And I still was dating. I was trying to go out and date. And she was like, ain't gonna happen. All right, cool. I'm just gonna go my way, you go your way, and we hang out when we hang out type of thing. After about 2 months on the scene.
That's why that bridge is important.
Right. After about 2 months of me dating outside of Oprah, realizing that
they always come back.
No, it's like everybody want kind of the same thing. They want to go out to eat. They want you to be honest with them. They want to sit down and talk and and share things. I'm like, I don't really like these other women. I really don't like them that much. They're okay, but I don't like them. And I'm like, man, I had everything going with her. And so I had to get her back.
See, and that's what happens in a lot of relationships.
You think the grass is greener.
You think the grass is green on the other side.
And if you water your grass.
Water your own grass.
If you love the person.
If you love the person or care about the person, water your grass. Put some fertilizer on it. And it's going to grow way beyond your expectations.
My parents been married for 60 years. We celebrated their 60 years. That's what you need to We celebrated their 60-year anniversary this year.
Okay.
Well, last year, 2017. 60 years of marriage because they love each other. Oh, they done had it out, screaming, hollering.
Oh, yeah.
They done split apart. She went off for a week or 2 weeks, and he left. But they've been together for 60 years.
Right.
Because, I know, I look at my parents, and I see that they genuinely love each other. My dad, like this morning, he got up. That's another story. But he got up because my mom said, she was going with us this morning to the walk. And my dad got up in the morning, moved 3 of his cars out the way to get to her car and had her car warmed up and everything and ready for her to go when she came and got out the car. He loved her. My mom always had hot food ready for him, and stuff. I mean, I keep saying the food thing, but the little things that they still do for each other, not because of obligation of marriage, it's because they really, truly love each other. And that makes the difference.
Right. And we've been through it. We've had our drag out arguments.
Oh, yeah.
I've called him whatever.
God. We just had one on the way here.
But, and he'll, but
Shit,
tomorrow morning or later tonight, you don't go to bed angry.
Is that realistic? Not to go to bed angry?
Yeah.
Okay.
It can be.
Yeah.
And I'm gonna tell you, I have.
And when you leave in the morning time, I try to, even though like we had a bad night or something that night, before I leave, I try to make up or say something because we have go a whole day without talking.
Yeah.
Wow. I'm just like, man, I ain't got nothing to say to you. I ain't got nothing to say to you. And then she go off, and then I go off, and like.
So what brings you back together after that? Not speaking for the.
You forgot what even happened.
Yeah. It's so little.
And that's what I'm saying. I know I've grown because I can be the kind of person that will hold on to. And that's
back in the day, she used not talk to me for like 2 days or 3 days. And then I'm like, so really you ain't gonna say nothing to me? Well, I ain't got nothing to say to me. And then we finally get it out on the table what the argument was about. And then we squash it and keep it pushing.
Okay. And then I'd be asking myself now, I'm like, well, we were just mad at each other, yesterday, and today is like, nothing ever happened. Okay, but that's when you can tell you moved on.
Right.
And you can move on in your relationship. You don't hold that against one another, you know. And then you look around and it's like, God, we've been together 20 years now.
So let me just say this one more thing too. Because you asked about if she didn't smile at me when I first met her. Mm-hmm. I probably wouldn't have had as much confidence at her approaching her. So my advice is to always be open and friendly. I know people have these walls built up and it's like these hedges built up like, you're never going to get nowhere that way. Just be, it could just be a smile. It could be just a hello, something like that, and that will give a guy more confidence. Because sometimes guys, we have low self-esteem as well. And we figure all this stuff run through our head. I don't know if it runs through your head. I don't know what runs through your head. But when you see somebody that you want to approach, a guy does, all these things come out. Oh, she probably got this. She probably got that. She probably won't like me because I ain't got this kind of job, or I ain't making this kind of money, or I drive this type of car. She probably ain't gonna like that. All these things just automatically just run through your head. And she probably won't even notice me. She probably don't care about me. She probably looking for somebody taller, somebody this, somebody that. You probably all these scenarios run through your head. And then if you just, because a guy would go out his way to try to get your attention, either just kind of walk by you or something. And if you just kind of like smile or just wave or just, look, that's a sign that, okay, well, maybe she is open. That give a guy more confidence.
Gotcha. Okay.
But see, when I came to then, I don't remember me smiling at him. He says I did, and I may have.
Uh-huh. You didn't do it intentionally, but
I didn't do it on purpose. I, had to smile on my face. But what I want to say to women is this: you never know how you when and where and how you're gonna meet the man of your dreams or in your life. You never know that. Wow. Okay, because I have a lot of friends. I have a lot of women that will come to me and ask me. They may be looking to get married. They may be looking for their special something. It's not something you can say, I want to do that tomorrow. You never know. It could be in the grocery store. Yeah. I used to have guys come up. I could be picking up an orange, looking at it. And they'll come over and say something to me about that orange. Mm-hmm. And I know deep down inside they're flirting. Mm-hmm. Okay? It could be anything, So you never know how a person's going to enter your life. It could be at the bus stop.
Yeah.
It could be at the elevator.
Right.
You will never know.
It could be at a
Okay.
meeting, a networking meeting.
But but what you
It could
want
be
to
at the
do,
parade.
right?
Never
What
know.
you want to do is prepare your mind, and know that within your heart, when I run across it, I want to entertain it. Okay. Because a lot of women, because I put that wall up. You got that wall up, and you're like, I don't want to meet nobody. I'm not interested in meeting anyone. You can't categorize like, they're just like the last person I met.
Right.
And so you have to put what you've been going through behind you,
Right.
because there's definitely a future.
Right.
And I tell women this over and over again. There is someone out there for you.
Mm-hmm.
It may not happen today.
Right.
It may not happen tomorrow. If you go about your life happy with you
Mm-hmm.
and how you feel inside first,
Mm-hmm.
then you're ready to meet anybody.
Mhm.
Okay. But if you're unhappy inside and you're walking around with a frown on your face, are mad at the world, it's going to be very hard.
Very difficult.
Very hard.
Mhm.
So I would tell
can
men, women,
Yeah.
men think the same thing.
Right.
You can't go by the physical makeup of a woman
Only. Right.
Just
only.
it's
You
important
have
now.
It is important.
Right.
And I think the way you care for yourself, how you keep yourself means a lot. But look deep down, talk to, don't be so quick to jump into a relationship. Talk to that person, read a book with them. See if they like reading, whatever. But find out what you have in common.
Mm-hmm.
And I think the other thing is important. Spirituality means a lot.
Yeah. It's safe. Yep.
Can we
Safely.
are we on the same page?
Right.
Okay. Because I would not.
Because he's the head.
Right. And he speaks a lot of God. Okay. And that's one thing that I liked about him when I met him is God. He believes in God. He has God in his heart.
Mm-hmm.
And that was so important to me that we can be on the same page. We can pray together. We can cry together. We can probably tell each other, what happened to you today? Oh, I messed up. I did this. We can do that. Okay. We've had failure together.
Mm-hmm.
We've had success together. And, but we love hard.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. And I pray for him each and every day. I pray for us.
Right.
So having God in your heart first and in your mind, in your life, and, you put him first and things will flow.
One of the things I can remember, even just talking to my girlfriends, which we were like, does he make your heart skip a beat and all that? It was how I learned was so wrong, because my audience know that I'm divorced as well. It's like what I based the guy, what he had to have off of what is supposed to, like, I didn't know that, like the things that you guys are saying, which is why I think it's so important to bring couples who've been through that's honest. Because you have some people that'll just have you thinking that it's just marital bliss 24/7. And like, they never saying that, we always, and then also what we were taught is that, which is one of the biggest myths, and not just you, other people have debunked, is that we could sit here and Jesus is going to send our husband knock on, he's going to come knock on the door.
That's just like money coming, when Jesus,
some people believe
think that,
that.
it's just going to fall out the sky, or Jesus is going to bring it. No, just like, no. And there's all kind of opportunities that come your way that you think is just a coincidence. That you think it's a coincidence, and it's not a coincidence that that's happening. That's God giving you a signal or a sign. So, and sometimes, we miss out on those signs because we thinking, that ain't what I asked for.
Because it doesn't look like, it's not in the package.
It doesn't look like the package you had in your mind. That
you think I was going to, in my mind, it was me alone. I mean, not saying she ain't beautiful.
That's what the other.
But about 5 years younger than me, Nia young, a little bit, small, but she was older, mature woman than I was. I mean, more mature than I was, and I didn't know that was the package that my soulmate was going to come in.
Man.
And and I think too, because I didn't know how old he was.
And we didn't even talk about age.
But you know what I can say?
We did not talk about age.
No, we didn't.
I think about almost a year
until he was going to meet my
son.
son.
I met her son.
Wow.
And I
Because she kept saying her baby, because we're on the phone talking. Oh, I can talk to my baby. And I said, okay, cool. So I'm like, all right, go ahead, talk to your.
You think he was a little bitty baby? You thought he was a little bitty?
I thought he was a baby. I thought he was like 13, right? I think he was 13. So I said, I didn't know how old she was. I knew she was a little older than me.
Right.
I knew that because of where she was in her life and how she was established and so on and so forth. And so I knew.
Look at God.
And so she kept talking about her son. And so I said, okay, well, let's all go to church one Sunday. True story. Let's go to church. So I pulled up to pick her up and her son up at church, and I saw this man standing out there. I think he was smoking a cigarette too. He sat up there smoking a cigarette, and I'm like, oh man, she got this other dude over here. I told her I was coming over here. They got this other dude over here, and so I just pulled up, and so here she come all dressed all up, ready to go, and so she jumps in the car. She said, "Come on." And I'm like, who's that? She said, "That's my son." And then I looked at her and then I said, we have to talk. Like, how old are you anyway?
Shut up.
He was a grown man.
Oh my God.
But see, what he didn't realize is that when I met him, I mean, I had been dating young men, younger men. Mm-hmm. And I think the youngest I had met was 21.
Too much. And how old are you?
I'm not telling you.
Okay, there it is.
But you know, because I wasn't.
Were you looking for younger men, or they just coming at you?
Gravitate to me. Mm-hmm. And when I meet an older guy, I gravitate away. You know, I don't know what it was. And I think the youngest guy was 20. And my kids were saying to me, Mom, do you? I swear he looked like he was Tevin Campbell. Okay.
Okay, too much information.
And my kids would look at me like, Mom, what are you doing? What are you know? And I think one of the reasons I really didn't do a lot of dating is because I still had, you know, it was my kids. Right. And I didn't really want to bring them around, you know, men around my kids like that, for one. But I was always gravitating. I mean, younger men would always come around to me. Right. So when I would say to myself, okay, I've got to concentrate. You know, when I meet people, they got to be But all the guys had dated prior to him. So
we're not going to tell y'all the difference.
Yeah.
So we're going to tell you the difference. Right. But just I'm going to let y'all know this. My son-in-law, her daughter's husband, is the same age as me. That's all I'm going to say. So just imagine when we all get together. Yeah.
Age doesn't matter.
No. That is so amazing.
And then, you know, and when we were, I never really asked him how old he was.
Nope,
you know,
we never talked about it.
We never talked about it.
And then we didn't care. After we found out, like, oh, okay, cool.
Would it have made a difference in the beginning when you first met him? So it never made a difference. Okay, so the package. Why do you think? And then we only have like 4 more minutes. Time is fine. So why do you think God puts a package like what we're looking for? He puts it in a package that we don't recognize. Why do you think?
Because I got it. Because God wants you to look from the inside out, not the outside in. Right. And it's just like Him. It's faith. Mm-hmm. Okay, just like faith. You'll know in your heart. You'll know in your spirit when that person comes. That's why from the package, the outer package, the looks and they dress up and all that stuff, that's just the outer shell, the package. Once you get to know somebody, which takes time now, takes a little time, then you start looking at their inside, their spirit and their heart. And then that's why the package that you see, like, that ain't what I'm looking for. You don't know until you get to know that person.
Right. Gotcha. You got to get to know them. You got to find out what are they about? What are they all about? And you got to get rid of the me. Yeah. Me, I.
Because this relationship ain't about me, I. It's about us. And compromise and communication.
Give and take. It's the give. You know, marriages, it used to be 100%. It's 120, 200%. Okay. Because I can't say you're not going to have your ups and downs. You know, just like the time he said we broke up and he was trying to date other women and whatever. I had, you know, guys I dated too. And the thing that would, a lot of times, every guy would date, they be trying to get married. Okay. It's like, I'm trying to court you. Don't you see, I could be a good husband. Right. And I'm saying to myself, I don't want to, I just, you know, he wants the same thing. Okay. And I knew I wasn't going to marry anybody else. You know, it only lasts for a little while. Right. But they're looking for the same thing. And when he said that women are out, you know, we broke up and the women he ran into, wanted to go to dinner. They just wanted his time. They wanted the attention.
Right.
That's what happens. I really love Dexter, and I am just really pleased to be his a better half here. And I just pray to God that we have 20 more plus years. We have a lot in common. I love spending time with him. We're spur of the moment people. And, we've just been blessed.
Mm-hmm. So communications, compromise, because you're not going to always get your way and get things the way you want it done, when you want it done. Patience, all those are virtues of a good relationship.
And one more thing I want to add too. I think, when we realized we had troubles, one of the things that we did is we sat down, we had lunch one day, and we talked to each other about the pluses and the minuses. And we totally, I asked him, I said, well, if you had to put on paper all the things that you don't like about me versus all the things that you do like about me. And I did the same thing.
That was it.
And believe it or not, we looked at our paper and we said we were meant to be together.
Because the things that we didn't like about each other was like maybe 4 or 5 things. And things that we liked about each other was like 2 pages worth of things.
Wow.
And so I said, oh my goodness, I think we could get over this.
And we got back together. We've been together ever since.
Yeah.
Yay!
Thank you.
Okay, so if someone wants to ask you some questions, is there a contact, like our email or handle, your Twitter or Facebook handle or something you want to let them know where they can?
They can reach me by email. That would be Jean, JeanUga @yahoo.com.
Okay. Mr. McLeod?
That would be Dexter-NEC @outlook.com.
All right. Yay! Okay, everybody. There you have it. Okay, so I'll see you next week. Bye-bye.